music. We all need it, we all love it, we all want it. It feeds us and we feed it. A cycle has been going ever since man's been here and discovered that his throat made a sound. They have this thing now called the music industry, and it's industrial for sure. They say that we need it, the music industry. But make no mistake, there is a difference between the music industry and music. The music industry says that it's being destroyed and there's an onslaught against it from the likes of downloading and unauthorized duplication, but my opinion is different than theirs. I say that they've been feeding at a trough like hogs for a very, very long time. They've been putting 2 good songs on an album and putting filler for the rest and selling it to the common man for $20, and I say that's wrong. They need us. We're not in any need of them, and if they should fall and die tomorrow, it's only for the better of all of us. If they should fall and die tomorrow, music will not die, music will live. As a matter of fact, music will live more than it lives now. They are in the way of music rather than being the providers of music for the masses of people, which is the position they've been granted stewardship of. They don't know soul. There's a lack of infrastructure for the middle class, so to speak, of musicians. The middle class meaning that currently the only way to get your music out is if you're being pushed at a $2 million per single level by a so-called major recording label, or you're pushing CDs out your trunk. There is no middle level to exist at like there was in the 50s. You had access to radio back then. You could walk up to your local radio station and they might just push your joint. Now you can't do that. You have to have this, that, and the other behind you before they even take a look at you. So I say, what's the solution? Everybody wants to know. No one wants the BS that the record companies are pushing on the masses, but no one knows how to get to those people who produce the music that they actually want to hear. So what is the solution? What is it that we need to do in order to get to those people and for those people to get to us? It's certainly not to seek help from the banks and studios, the den of vipers and evil people who seek only to make money off the ideas of young people who have no other clue of what to do with themselves but to go to those who say that they can help you. I tell you what, the industry is just a group of banks and studios waiting on young black kids to create the next shit for them to ride on for the next 30 years. Every music that has come out in the 20th century has a cycle of 30 years. When blues music caught on, it was 30 years. From 1910 to 1940, I believe. When blues created jazz, out of the genius that blues is, another music was created called jazz. And when jazz hit the white masses, then it began to die. But it had a 30-year cycle in which it was the richest that it could be. After jazz came rock and roll. Yet again, out of the blues, just a sped up version. As a matter of fact, rock and roll is a word that black people use to describe sex. The rock and the roll. Get it? See, they're waiting on some black kids to create the next shit that they're gonna ride on for the next 30 years. After rock and roll was produced came the funk, and with the funk came hip-hop in 1978 with Kool Herc importing chata style music from Jamaica to the Bronx, New York. That's where it started. 1978, look it up in your history books. 1978, what year are we at right now? 2004. The 30-year lifespan of hip-hop is about to reach. We're coming up on 2008. My people, the kids are gonna figure it out pretty soon. They're gonna figure it out, and you're gonna know that the black genius is gonna create some new shit through these babies. What's it gonna be? See, now we have the opportunity to change the way that it has been and the way that it will be. We got fucked over on blues music and jazz. We got fucked over on rock and roll as white people came through and started to say that they were the king of the music that we created out of our own God-given genius. And they wrote it for the next 30 years and sat back and waited for young black kids to create the next new shit. What do you think about that? Well, I say this. Being that hip-hop is dead, and industry generally tends to create whatever the masses demand that they create because all they want to do is make money, it is this time now that we must demand what it is will be sold in the next 30 years. Look at McDonald's. McDonald's is selling salads now. McDonald's is selling healthier choices. McDonald's for 50 years has been synonymous with fat and unhealthy food. Why this switch right now? I remember a time when I was young, you couldn't even get a seat in a McDonald's. Now you go into McDonald's and it's bare empty space. Why the switch in the menu? Because the people have started to get health conscious and worry about their waistlines and worry about the health of their bodies. McDonald's will switch its menu in order to go along with whatever the trend is that will sell. The key to economic prosperity of any company is do what will sell. And if we demand what will sell for the next 30 years, we will be in a position of control and ownership. We must do for ourselves what others will not do for us. We must own our music outright. We must be the shapers of the future of our media. And I'm going to tell you this. If we do not create the infrastructure for these young black babies that are going to create the next new shit, we are going to be fucked for a long, long time.